I just feel because if I have makeup on and I don't have lipstick or something on my lips, I look like I'm a corpse. Because I'm like,
Yeah.
my face is all like bright and beautiful and my lips are pale. It's like, okay, get it together, lady.
Well, that is one thing I don't do is makeup.
I put on like just what is it called? BBC cream. I don't know what I put on, doesn't matter.
BB
And
cream.
something like that, yeah. BB
Yeah,
be beautiful cream.
I don't know how to apply makeup correctly, especially for my age. But I try not to I leer away from it because it just is not my gig.
Okay, so I watched YouTube videos on makeup over 50.
Oh, did you?
I did.
Mm,
And it's like different brands and different, whatever. But there
yeah.
is a difference, and also, skin, et cetera, et cetera. But I did. I looked up, makeup over 50, and I watched, and then I bought, and then I did.
Wow.
So there is that.
There's another rabbit hole.
I didn't go too far down the rabbit hole. Like I'm not a big makeup person,
Yeah.
but
I don't go out enough to warrant a full face.
most of the time, honestly, it's now for the podcast for the
And we're off.
podcast. And sometimes I know my husband would like to be seen with someone who doesn't look like they just crawled out of a dumpster. So there's that.
Well,
Uh,
it's nice that you take that into consideration. I don't.
that's okay.
I
You do
figure he
you.
knows me. Been married 40 years. I've never been one to put on makeup. So
Well, and that's
why,
good.
if I started doing it now, he'd be like, "What are you doing?" So,
But see, I mean, from the moment I was allowed to wear makeup, I have worn makeup.
and I find too, God, we're going off on the deep end on makeup, but I find with me, if I wear blush, then I look like I'm having some sort of facial explosion. Because with my blood pressure and then the blush on top of it, like people will say, "Are you okay?" Right? So I'm
That's
like,
funny.
"Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just wearing blush."
just just trying to look pretty, dang it.
Yeah, backfire.
So what else is going on? How how is how's hubby? I meant to ask you
Okay, well, he
his
just went
appointment.
today and got his cortisone shot.
Oh, good.
Yes, so fingers crossed, the whining will cease and desist. But
Because I know he went to the orthopedist, so
yes.
I haven't heard what they
Okay, so
said.
yeah, she said that he has water on the knee and that his knee is very close, like I guess I can't remember what they call that. Cartilage?
The
Is it the
cartilage, yeah.
cartilage?
So it's bone on
Is
bone.
Yeah, so it's worn right down, but that's also where the meniscus is.
Mm-hmm.
So because on the one side is worse, so I guess here's the knee, but the one side is worse
Yeah.
than the left side of the inner, I guess that's on his left knee, his inner right side is worse than the other side.
Okay.
And that's where the meniscus is, apparently. So because it's almost bone on bone, it's irritating that meniscus.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a tendon, a thread? What the heck is that called?
A meniscus.
Yeah, I don't
It's
know. Is it a tendon? I can't
I
remember. Anyway, long and short, does not matter. Um, the it's just irritating it. So he's got this brace that he's wearing that seems to be working. She said to come back and she'll put a cortisone shot in it, so which he's done today. And here's hoping he's back to normal.
does
That's yeah. Well,
uh,
as normal as he can be. Let's just face that.
okay, his knee will be better.
No, that's what I meant. I wasn't referring to his mental status.
If all it takes is cortisone, I'll go get me a shot right now that's going to help my
Well, I
mental
will keep a
status.
lifetime of cortisone shots right in my, bedside table and administer it myself to him because Because when he was at his worst, I had to remind myself by chanting, I love my husband, I love my husband, I love my husband.
I'm not built for prison. I'm not built for prison. Okay,
Or or
for
or say what my mom used to say, this too shall pass. This too shall
shallot.
pass. We can
So
only hope.
the meniscus is a C-shaped pad of cartilage in the knee that acts as a shock absorber between the shin bone and the thigh bone, which is
Okay.
the tibia and the femur.
There you go. And
So,
that's what's happening.
so there you
So,
have it, folks.
yeah.
Medical school one on one, one on no
When our
101.
Canadian family doctor says, this is her word, okay? She said to George, yeah, you have arthritis. Get used to it.
As I'm saying, people start diagnosing and they don't do one test, and
Mm-hmm.
and they do a test, which is an X-ray, and X-rays are good for broken things,
Yeah,
but not for the soft tissue. It's not good for. So, did he have an
right.
MRI?
They don't give MRIs out here. You only get an MRI if you're a hockey player or a politician.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm glad he is doing better, and I'm glad that they
Yes.
are giving him cortisone. So, yay!
Yeah,
I am glad. I'm happy for you.
me
So
too.
happy for you.
So that's that.
All
Now he
right.
just drove out of the driveway and I have no idea where he went. So I had to quickly text Meg and say, now where's he going? Because he got up for his appointment and just left and didn't announce, hey, I'm leaving now. Or like, who does that? Who just gets up out of the house and goes and doesn't tell anybody else that's living in there what they're doing?
Apparently, a lot of people.
Okay. That has to be one of my biggest pet peeves.
Yeah, I don't like it. I
Like
if
when
you
I'm
live in my
leaving,
house, I
yeah,
need to know. Like,
right? And it's not that I'm being nosy. I just want
no.
to, I just, well, at least say I'm headed out.
Yes.
So at least I know I'm not sitting in this house all by myself because I'm at the other end of the house.
Right.
Everybody else is that way. So if everyone just gets up and goes out, unless I see action happening in the driveway, I have no idea that I'm alone here.
Now, Kitty and I always tell each other when we're leaving, where we're going. Always say bye. Always say I love you because you just never know. Like I've watched
Oh,
way too many movies and listened to way too many podcasts to for my last words to be stupid words. So no matter how I feel in the moment, it will always be I love you, whatever.
yeah,
But there's times when he'll let me sleep in and I'll wake
yeah.
up and he's gone. Like
See?
no text message, no, hey, whatever, nothing. So I have to end up calling him. It's like, where are you? He's like, oh, went to the store because he's a gypsy and he roams around the world and does his thing. But I hate that. I hate not knowing where
Or
people
I'll
are.
message him and say, where are you? Where are you? And he'll respond, I've gone to a garage sale. Why? Like I'm getting in shit because I've asked where he is. That's like, right? I was like, oh, I don't know. You could be laying on the side of a road.
Right? I'm just
I
not going to
don't
care
know.
anymore. Fine. I
Yeah,
don't care. Except we do.
except we
Uh,
do. So yeah, that's it. And now I'm regretting not getting a pillow for the back of my back.
do you need to go get one?
Should I go get one?
If you're going to be uncomfortable, go get one. Although I sit through this whole entire podcast and wiggle around and jump and hop and move, go get a pillow.
I
I
think I
will.
don't know if I'll be able
Don't
to
forget to take
reach.
off your headphones. Otherwise, like,
Oh, sorry about that. Did you entertain our friends while I was gone?
I did. I stared at him. I
Yeah,
just
well, I
stared.
tend to sit on the edge of the chair to talk into the mic so that I'm not far away.
Hmm.
And but I've noticed doing that my back started feeling a little uncomfortable. So I thought,
And we do
shoot,
not want that.
I should have got a pillow to buffer that little space back there, which is part of my bad habits, by the way. Anyway, that's for
Okay. And we can go into our topic if you would like.
okay, sure.
Okay. So I took time and I started with my bad habits, right? And then I got to the good habits and it's blank.
Okay. Okay. So that's funny. You should say that. It was easier to write down my bad habits than to write down any of my good.
I
Now, do
don't
you think that's because we don't give credit to ourselves for the good things that we do and we're only looking at the bad? Because that's the way I took it for myself. Like
well,
Lorie, there's got to be good things that you're doing.
there are good things that I do, but is it a habit? That's my thing.
Well, I think it's a habit.
So is it something I do perpetually?
Yeah.
And it's still blank. I mean, Kaylin gave me one
Oh,
good
yeah. What's
habit.
that?
Positive road rage. I have turned over a new leaf. So I've never been one to
Well,
have
isn't
like,
that an oxymoron? Positive road rage?
because here's the thing. So I've never been one to like be serious road rager, but I do talk to the people like, what the heck? What are you doing? Blah, blah, just go, all those things. But now I'm just like, you go, girl, you cut me off. You be that person. Like, so I'm turning it like, I still have to say something because it aggravates me, but I'm doing it in a positive light instead of like a grouchy light.
Well, good for you. I cannot stand driving with drivers that have all kinds of road rage.
I
I
don't. It's
can't.
it's
It
only when certain
stresses me
things
out. I
happen.
feel like something's happening because I might not be staring or
Right.
looking directly at them, and all of a sudden you hear, and I'm looking to see what's happening for all that commotion, right?
It's usually when I get seriously cut off and I'm just like,
Yeah,
what the heck? Because it's so scary. It's so scary when people are just whipping around and all the
yeah.
things. Anyway, so maybe throughout the podcast, I might think of some positive habit I have. I don't know.
Okay, so how do you want to handle this? Do you want to handle it? You go ahead with your bad ones, and then I'll do my bad ones, or do you want to do like
I
I could do good and you could do bad? We'll play good cop,
Oh
bad
yeah,
cop.
you have good
Okay.
ones. I don't have good ones. You do your good ones.
My good ones?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll start with my good ones. I think first and foremost, I think one of my good habits is, and it involves a lot in it, but one of them is self-care. I'm really good at doing things that make me happy. So that's a plus.
That's
So,
awesome.
for example, I like my facials. I'll do my hand creams and I'll do, all kinds of stuff. I'm good at doing the manicure, pedicure type thing, taking care of my nails and, just, soaking in the hot tub, swimming, like all those to me, I
Hmm.
consider self-care. So, that kind of stuff. That's one.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because
And
a
first
lot
of
of people struggle with that. So good for you.
Yeah. And the other one I have is, and they're no particular order, but I tend to be a, what do I want? A fanatical helper. And that is, I want to help anybody and everybody that needs help. But that could be a bad thing because
Hmm.
sometimes people take advantage of that,
Absolutely.
right? So I've quite frankly had to kick family members out of my life because they've just taken advantage of the fact that
You're
Lorie
a
will
good
always,
person.
yes. So, but I take pride in the fact that I am a good helper on a daily basis, really, to anybody that needs it. So, is that an actual habit? I don't know. I think it's a habit because I do it. It's not like I never do it and I only do it once in a while, but I do it every single time
Right.
it's needed.
I get that's a
So
good.
I consider that a habit. And oh my gosh, it's going to pour down rain. So I hope this doesn't affect just an FYI. Anyway, anywho,
We're like going to be
number,
107 today and no rain. So no
oh my
clouds.
gosh.
Yeah.
So number three is, I, my good, and I'm going to say little because it's little in comparison to others, is my little exercise routine. So, um, I have a treadmill downstairs, so I do my walking. My son has this great big mat, like a rubber mat that he's
Hmm.
laid down on the floor. So you do your stretching, and I have a video, like a walking video. So you do your walking off the treadmill on the thing. Um, I've also gotten the little skip rope. So I try to do that. That's hilarious.
Good for
Okay.
you. If I tried to skip over anything, I would be face plant.
Okay. No, seriously, I think it's 3 times. But hey, it's 3 times.
It's three more times
Okay.
than I've done, so good
Three.
for you.
It's 3 times. And I'm thinking any little bit that I do towards that kind of exercise, getting myself moving a little bit routine is, and I usually do that every single day for about 10, 15 minutes. I never do any more than that. They say 30 minutes is the best course of action.
Hmm.
Well, you know what? I have to work myself up to 30 minutes. There's no way I got, like, I've done 20 and it was pushing it. So
But you can split it up.
true.
You can do like 15 and then go back later and do 15.
Yeah. So there's that one. Now, the other habit I have, but I also share it with hubby, is our habit is we absolutely have to take vacation every year. So we go away sometimes twice a year. We've done it twice a year, but and to me, that's a habit because it has to be, it's something you have to put in first and foremost to be able
Right.
to do, right?
Right.
Reading, and that's self-explanatory. I love reading. And community involvement. I spend a lot of time helping those in my community, and I think that's a fantastic habit for me. So, kindness, I'm full of kindness. To me, that's a habit. I don't care what anybody says because you know
Take it.
what? Either you choose to be kind or you don't. So,
Hmm.
whatever. I personally do a movie night every week. So I'll get some popcorn. I'll pick a movie and I'll watch a movie. Hubby doesn't like the movies I watch, so and I don't, you know, and that unless we're both on the same page, we don't watch a movie together. He's just I don't even know what he likes anymore. He likes the okay, here's the things he likes, okay? Secret between us girls
Okay.
or whoever's listening. Um, he likes movies like Godfather, The Warriors, Goodfellas, all those crime kind of
Crime
bloody.
families. Yeah.
Oh,
The
I
the
don't like.
mobster gangster.
Can we just not? Anywho, there's that. Um, and I enjoy that. That almost goes along the lines of self-care, but I put it separate because I don't do it every single day. Um, my creative outlet. That's something I do every day,
Mm.
is whether it be in my planner and things that I make, all that kind of stuff. To me, that's a good habit that keeps me happy. And the other thing that hubby and I do together is financial reviews and planning. We make sure we know where we are and what money's going where so that our end goals are met when we're both retired, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
And
good.
trips are planned and all that kind of stuff. So that is a healthy habit that we have together. So that's my good habits. I don't know. I mean, we could not procrastinate. We
That's not a
can
good habit.
No, that's in my bads. We can expand on that, I guess, if we want to talk about it after we've chatted about what our goods
Sure.
and bads are, but that's my good ones.
Well, you did give me some ideas because I didn't consider some of these things like habits, but I can
All
see how
right.
they are, right? Because I get hung up on the perfectionism of habits, good or bad, right? So a habit is something you do perpetually, um, but it doesn't mean it has to be done every second
Day.
or all the time, or you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it did kind of help me like, oh, I do have
Well,
a few
because I
good
wanted to
habits.
know what the definition was really, because you can have a habit that you do, but you don't do it every day, but
Right.
it's
I don't get
still a
pedicures
good,
every day, but I
right.
get
But it's
them.
still a habit that
Yes.
you makes you happy and goes towards your self-care.
Right.
So that's the way
Absolutely.
I kind of looked at habits. There you go.
No, you're not boring me. It's my life yawning and all. Okay. I'm going to start with some of my bad, but I'm going to start
Okay.
with the bad that
Okay.
I have changed.
Okay.
So,
That's interesting.
um, first and foremost, I had the bad habit. I was a smoker. And then I did the math. Oh my God.
It's expensive.
I smoked for 29 years. I started when I was 13
Oh my gosh.
and I quit July of 2013. Like quit. Now I had quit like when I was pregnant. And then as I'm honestly as God is my witness, as soon as I could smoke, like I wasn't nursing and pregnant, I smoked. It's so ridiculous. Like it's out of your system. I went all these like over a year without smoking, but the moment that I could, I did.
Yeah.
Anyway, but that goes towards the mental side of addiction
Yeah.
because addiction isn't just the physical part, right? It's the
No.
mental and emotional part. Because my cigarettes were my best friend.
Yeah.
They were everywhere. Like when I did something good, I smoked a cigarette. When I did something bad, smoked a cigarette. Everything. When I did a good thing, when I finished a job, like everything revolved around having
Mm-hmm.
a cigarette. Anyway, so what prompted me to quit is Kenton, my baby. He was doing something, and I was talking to him about his life choices and where that was going to lead and whatever. And he looked at me and said, "Why do you care?" He's like, "You're not going to be alive to see it." Nothing like a teenager just smacking you down into your place, right?
Putting you right in your place.
And I just looked at him and I just looked at him. I did in my mind, all these things that I could say were going through, and I'm like, that's stupid. That's stupid. Like there was nothing I could say that would have been like a smart thing
A
to
good
say
comeback.
to defend my smoking. So
Yeah.
I just quietly walked out of his bedroom and shut the door. Like I'm not getting into it with this one. And but I did. So I went outside and smoked a cigarette, but I got on my phone to figure out how to quit smoking. And I found an app and I downloaded the app and I kept watching the introduction. I didn't like go into the whole thing. I just kept watching for 3 months. And then I woke up one day. I actually woke up, I think it was like July the 3rd. And I was like, okay, this is the last day I'm going to smoke. I didn't plan it. Like it was nothing.
Wow.
I woke up. I guess I had like watched and listened enough that subconsciously I felt ready. Um, and so I did this app and I haven't smoked a cigarette since. And I tried
Good for
and I
you.
can't. I wish I could because then I wouldn't be so big because smoking replaced food and food replaced smoking.
Yeah.
But I cannot mentally, physically cannot have a cigarette at all. I just can't. So
That's awesome though, because that's,
it
as
is.
far as I'm concerned, I think, well, any addictive thing is hard, but I do think quit smoking is really hard to do. And I used to say that to my mom because she used to have all these ailments from smoking. And I used to say to her, you need to quit. No, it's not easy, Lorie. I said, I'm not saying it's easy. And I used to think about it a lot because I thought to myself, you know what? You have everybody, all your friends are smoking. Everybody in the world smokes. That this was the time where they sold them in the drugstore. They sold them in the corner stores. You know what I
Every
mean?
and
Like,
they weren't locked up. They were just out in the
no, you could
open.
just uh, she used to send me down to the corner store to
Me
get a pack
too.
of smokes for her.
I could go
Right?
get
So it was
cigarettes.
like it was so easily had that it was one of those things that
Everybody did it.
it was too easy to quit. It was too easy
But there
to keep
wasn't the
doing it.
education that
Yeah.
there is now, right?
Yeah.
Why not smoke? There
Yeah.
was no reasons not to.
Yeah.
because there was not all the education we have now. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. In my high school, there was a smoking section. Every restaurant, every bar, everywhere you went, a smoking section. I saved my lunch money in high school and went and bought cigarettes instead of food because I
See,
could. Like they didn't
I
care.
I I was of the day where there was no smoking sections. Everybody just smoked at their restaurant table.
Yeah.
Everybody's the theater. People could smoke in the theater.
You could smoke on an airplane. So here's
It
how
was,
jacked up things are. Okay.
yeah.
Is when I was 15, I went to visit. So I'd already moved down here and was living with my dad and back in Texas. My mom was in Virginia, and I flew to see my mom. She got my plane ticket and got me one in the smoking section because she knew I smoked. I was 15. What
Yeah.
parent? So yeah,
And
I'm sitting in the back of
this,
the plane with all these grown people at 15 token away. Like,
and the funny
no.
thing was back in the day, this is when you could smoke in the hospital beds.
Yes.
When you were in the hospital, you could smoke.
Oxygen all around
It's
you.
like, what the hell were we thinking?
We
Well,
weren't.
I'm going to say I've never smoked a day in my life, and I'm very proud of that fact. Never
You
even
should
tried
be.
it. Never even, I've never smoked a joint. I've never not touched a single. And I will tell you the main reason why, because I watched everyone around me smoke, and to me, it was the dirtiest habit anybody could have.
It's pretty
I seen the
nasty.
ashtrays. I heard them coughing. Oh my God. I thought to myself, there is no bloody way in hell I am doing that to myself.
Good for you. I mean, I wish I would have never, but if wishes were
Right.
horses.
Right.
But yeah, so I kicked that habit. So I've been smoke free what 10, almost 11 years.
Good
Actually
for you.
11 years. So yay. I did quit. There was a medication called Chantix, and I took that, and I did quit for a year while I was on that medication, but I was angry the whole time. I wanted
Oh,
to smoke so bad, and I was angry and pissed off
yeah.
that I couldn't.
Angry stuff is not a good thing.
Oh, you don't want angry stuff. Yeah.
No.
So, and it got to the point where my husband looked at me. He said, "Go buy yourself a freaking pack of cigarettes." He's like, I can't deal with you anymore. I'm over it. Go smoke." And I was
Go
like,
smoke.
"Okay." Gave me permission. I was like, "All right, here I go." And I started
Here
back
we
up.
go.
So yeah, angry stuff
Yeah.
is not a good stuff. So that was a bad habit that I actually kicked. So yay
Good for
me.
you. Yay, stuff.
And I looked it up, and the app is still available in the App Store. It's called Stop Smoking in 2 Hours. So anybody who's interested, um, Stop Smoking in 2 Hours is what it's called. And it has
It
this
took
whole
you three
thing.
months, though.
Huh?
It took you 3 months.
No, once I listened to that, well, it took me 3 months from listening to the just the
Intro.
introduction.
Yes, yes,
Once I
yes.
actually like sat down and started, okay,
What I need
the
to
day
do.
you stop. I didn't smoke since that point.
Yeah.
So I wasn't ready to commit, so I just kept listening to the intro over and over and over again. Well, because when you have something that you are so dependent on,
Yeah.
and then you're having to give it up, it's hard.
And
It's just hard.
it's got to be too where it gives you it's something that if you're stressed out, it calms you down. If you're happy, it adds
Yeah,
to it.
it's your
If you're
reward.
sad, it makes you feel better. It's like all things
All the
for
things. Like I could
yeah.
go outside and smoke a cigarette and cry and
Mhm.
talk to nobody. I wasn't like psycho enough that I am like, oh my God. Oh, I wasn't like that. But
What did
I
you name your cigarettes?
happy. No. But it was something to do. And while I'm out there, and
Yeah.
I used to joke around saying if I didn't smoke, I'd never take a break. And what's funny is there is truth to that because
Mhm.
when I quit smoking, I never took breaks at work anymore. I had no reason to. So I
Right.
just worked the whole time. I didn't get up and go do anything, which is
That's
not
me.
healthy either. But I'm just saying, smoking is the one thing that was like, oh, I need to go smoke a cigarette. So I would stop work, I would take a break from work, I would go and do something else, healthy or
See, I
not.
used to be annoyed at the smokers at work.
I can see it.
I used to get annoyed because some of them would be gone for 15 minutes at a time to smoke a cigarette.
Okay, it takes
And
five
they're
minutes.
doing,
It takes
and they're
five
doing,
minutes to smoke a regular and 7 to smoke a 100. Just so you know.
okay, so 15 minutes, they were gone. Okay.
So they're
Sometimes
smoking
longer.
two. They're
And then,
smoking
and then
two.
they're back out there in another, hour to 2 hours. And so I swear, and I used to say this to my boss, you know what? I can't remember what happened. Something happened. And she come into the lunchroom and she goes, oh, she goes, extra long lunch, eh? Like joking because she was a friend. Well, I got all PO'd at that. Okay. So after my lunch, I went in and I said, you know what? I said, first off, I know you were joking, but the people in the lunchroom didn't know you were joking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Second of all, I said, these people go downstairs, and I swear throughout the whole day, they're gone for a total of an hour and a half to 2 hours.
True.
Every single time they go down there. Okay. Plus, they take their lunch hour.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if I'm 15 minutes extra after my lunch hour, keep it to yourself.
Amen, sister. Amen,
So,
sister. I get it. Okay, so other bad habits that I have not. Okay, so here's a bad habit that I have kicked and reverted, kicked and reverted, and that's eating and losing weight.
wow,
It
that's
has
hard.
gone back and forth. Like I've done really well, lost weight, super happy. I'm not looking at being skinny. I'm looking at being healthy to where I can, like, I don't know, get up off a floor
Mm-hmm.
without having to crawl over to a stationary object to pull me up. Right.
Yeah.
Um, but man, I've it's just like this yo-yo, good, bad, good,
It it's
bad, good,
it's
bad.
it's
And
that's
because
another hard one.
so hard.
Yeah.
So right now, what I'm working on, so I don't, it's not a habit yet, but I'm working on. Maybe I should save that for working on habits. Okay, I'm gonna do that. Working on. No, we're talking about it now. I'm just gonna do it
I was
now.
just gonna say, like, you got categorized
So
yours. Yeah,
what?
you need to calm down as a habit, is what you need to do.
Take a chill
Jeez
pill.
Louise, I just made a list. I didn't categorize them.
So what I'm doing now is when we go out to eat, I only eat half of it, whatever it is. I'm only eating half, and then I get a to go box for the other half, like immediately. Like I
Yeah,
just split it in half, I only eat the half, and the other half goes in the to go box, and I bring it home. Now I'm not saying I don't eat it when shortly after we get home, because usually we're out doing stuff, so we're out hours.
mm,
But I am trying not to eat all of it because you don't need to. Like, we live in the United States, we live in Texas. Everything is ginormous, including the servings. There is at least 2 to 3 servings sitting on my plate.
yeah.
So I half and then take the other half home. So that's a habit I am working on, to start minimizing how
Because
much I eat.
if you didn't do that, and you ate the whole plate, more than likely you'd come home and later on that night eat something else,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
And this way I have something else to eat. I'm just finishing what I
Yes.
would have eaten, but I'm doing it over a long period of time. So that is a habit I'm definitely working on. Um, and then just every day I've given up on meal planning, and I'm going to do all of this stuff. I can't, it's overwhelming, and I am
Yeah.
not going to do it. I just decide every moment to do or not to do, to eat or not to eat, to
Mm-hmm.
choose this or choose that. And with me doing that, it gives me the more freedom, and then I'm
Yeah.
I'm proud of myself for making a good choice, instead of setting myself up to fail by having all these things that I have to do, and then when I don't
Right.
do them, I feel like trash, and then why bother? But if I don't, and I know I have lost weight a trillion times. Okay, I know what to do. I know what I'm
Yeah.
supposed to do. I know what's good for me. I know all the things. It's all about application. For me, at this point in my life, it is making a choice in the moment. That's it. Because
I know.
I know if it's a good or a bad choice. I'm not sitting and looking at fruit versus candy and going, gosh, I just don't know which one's the better item. Right? Like that is not, I'm not confused about the healthiness of items. It's a choice.
Yeah,
And it
for
has
sure.
really helped a lot. It has given me a lot more freedom to just be okay with the choices I make. Because I know
Yeah,
if I'm making a good choice, but also know if I'm making a bad choice. And if I make that bad choice for whatever reason in that moment, I'm okay with it.
for sure.
So
You have to be.
so those are things that I'm like working on to make better habits. What else? One of my bad habits is I don't have a good schedule.
Yeah.
I never have. Well, I take that back. When the kids were growing up, we had to, right? You had to be
Oh,
up
you're
at a
talking
certain
about your
time.
daily schedule.
Yeah, so I'm talking about my
Yeah.
daily schedule. I don't have one. Because every day is different.
Yeah. See,
I
that's the
work from
thing.
home. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
because I work from home, I think a lot of times people in general, oh, well, she's at home, she can do this, or whatever.
Yeah.
She doesn't have a real job. And I'm
Yeah.
nobody
It's
says
true.
that,
No,
but
but
I
it's
think
it's
like
implied. Yeah.
subconsciously they're just like, oh, this will only take a few minutes. She could, do this, or let's
Yeah.
do whatever.
Because if you were sitting at your desk at work, 9 times out of 10, they probably wouldn't bother you
No,
until you got home at night.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, oh, excuse me. So I don't. And again, I don't know if that is something that I really want to have. Like
What?
kind of like with
A
the
better
eating.
schedule?
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
like a strict schedule. Because like with the eating, right? The
Yeah.
moment I'm like, okay, it's so rigid, immediately I'm failing because it's not a habit. And then I'm like,
Hmm.
whatever. So I think if I had a rigid schedule, it would be the same thing because stuff always happens. Always.
Okay. So here's kind of what I do, and it's not even a schedule. It's more like it's the times of day. So I'll look at what time it is. So I'll get my coffee, watch a little YouTube, whatever. And then I'll look at the clock and I'll think, okay, it's time to do whatever. And I'll get up, make the beds, all those kind of things. And then I'll grab another coffee. And then I'll look at my phone and see, okay, how's YouTube doing? How's this doing? And before you know it, another hour's gone by. I'll look at the clock and I'll go, okay, well, go throw some laundry in because I'm gauging my day on when he comes home.
Yes. So you can be busy.
Right. So I want to make sure all the things are done and I'm still doing my thing at the same time.
Right.
So I always look at timing as a gauge to where I am. And I like there's people that say, oh, I'm home all day, but I don't do anything till the last hour before hubby gets home. Well, I don't like rushing and doing anything for an hour. So I'll
Right.
spread it out throughout the whole
Go out
day.
the whole day.
That's right. So maybe it's a timing thing. Maybe you have to do it in time lots.
Maybe. I just get so hyper focused on what I am doing. And that's
Yeah.
another bad habit is that I feel like I have to finish. And if that
Yeah.
means I'm sitting here for 6 hours straight, and that's not good, that is not a good
No,
thing.
that's
So
not.
that's a bad habit of mine is being hyper focused. It's like if I just finish this, then I can do this other thing instead of splitting it up and be like, okay, you can come back and do this again. I mean, nothing's gonna happen if it's not finished in 6 hours. So,
No.
but those are mine. Oh, why is that on? Did you hear that?
Yeah.
It's my
I
phone. It's
thought your
like,
family was phoning you.
no. Um, I think because it's our alarm and the cat's outside and our camera on the back porch
Oh,
thinks there's
gotcha.
somebody in our backyard.
Doodle
Anyway,
bug.
it's actually Bandit, but
Oh,
that's
it's Bandit.
irrelevant. Yeah.
Okay.
Doodle bugs in the windowsill. Anyway, so those are I have plethora of bad habits, I assure you. But these are the ones that I wrote down, because these are the ones that really actually do matter to me. Like,
Yeah.
it's what I think about. It's the things that I wish would, like exercise. That, gosh, I get going because I hate it. Because I
See
hate it
that I
so
hate it
much.
too, but that's why I only commit to 10 to 15 minutes because I think I could do 10 to 15 minutes. I can't sit there and do 30 minutes, an hour. My son will go down there and just kick the shit out of himself for 2 hours down there,
Who has that kind of
doing this,
time?
doing that. George will go over to the gym and he'll be there for 2.5 hours. And I'm thinking, who in their right mind does that? So I do what
Healthy
I
people.
think, yeah, I do what I think I can do, and at least I'm doing something. And if that's 10 minutes today, 10 minutes today. If it happens to be 20 minutes tomorrow, perfect. If not,
I just
that's
need
all I
to
can do.
push. Once I'm doing it, I'm fine. It's getting on the machine, or it's turning on
Yeah.
the video, or it's like lifting a leg, like whatever it is.
Lifting a
It's
leg.
like, okay.
Yeah.
So that is something I definitely want to be better at. So those bad habits. All right, what are your bad habits?
Okay. So I'm going to put the first and foremost on my list is procrastination.
I knew it.
I am the absolute worst, and I know it. Deep down, I know it's the biggest thing for me, but I have a habit of putting things off to my detriment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well,
I
that's what
will
procrastination is.
here is an example. What's the date today? The 30th. So the first Wednesday of the month is when we have our board meeting at the club. So when's that?
Tomorrow.
Is that tomorrow? See, there we go, friends. No, tomorrow's the
No,
31st.
it is the 31st. Sorry. I forgot it
Oh,
was, I already have August up,
okay.
and
So
so
it's
I didn't
next
see.
Wednesday.
Yes.
Okay.
You have a week.
Okay. So I have a week. Okay. And in my head, I'm thinking, okay, so I have minutes to prepare. I have reports to prepare. I have all that stuff to prepare. And when do you think I'm going to do it, Steph?
Tuesday night.
Tuesday night when we're zooming. There you go.
And you're
She's
gonna
gonna she's gonna say to me, "What are you working on?" Oh, the club stuff. Why do I do that when I know in
because you
my
don't like to do it. That's
I don't like
why.
I know, but that means I don't like to do anything then. If you put that theory to anything, because it's anything.
I don't
Uh,
know. You get your videos out every day
okay, but that okay. That's true. Okay, so I don't know why that is. Is
because
it
you enjoy
but
it.
no, it's I enjoy it, but I also have that thing where it's
People are depending on you.
yeah. Okay, next.
No. Here, I'm gonna sit back. Let me get my little notebook.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. There you go.
Do you
Steph's
need
my
to do you need to
my
lie down?
therapist.
Do you
I
want to
need to
lay
lie
down?
down. There's some sort of pill. Um, okay, so the next one is being pessimistic at times. Now, I think that's a bad habit of mine because even though I have a tendency to be a kind person and I'm not outwardly mean to anybody, I do have times of the day or week or month where I think of things as in a bad light, right? Like I'll say, oh, how do I even give me an example? You know, okay, so yeah, I don't even know what a good example would be. Let's take our politics in Canada. I don't have anything nice to say. I'm pessimistic because I don't believe anybody that gets into power, I'll say anywhere, but Canada, because that's where I live, is going to make any changes that are going to benefit anybody. The politicians of the world, and this is why I say I'm pessimistic, is because I can't see the good in anybody in these types of positions.
Right.
Because I truly think back in the olden days, that's what they used to do. They used to be for the people, by the people, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And now it's like, who's paying me more? Who's going to give me money?
Yeah.
Who's going to
Who's
support
scratching
me
my
more?
back?
That's right. And so, yeah, so that's the kind of thing I'm talking about is,
Is that pessimism or is that another word?
I don't know, but it's the same thing with our healthcare. I'm so pessimistic about that. I don't have a kind thing to say about our healthcare. I don't have a, there's, there's so many things that I could sit here and go down a list for, but to me, pessimistic is not having a good thought about a subject. You look at things and only see the bad in it.
Cynical. That's what I was looking for.
Oh, okay. So there you go. So maybe it's cynical.
I think
Maybe
it's more cynical because it's experience that has,
yeah,
where you're not looking at everything as going, oh, it's just, this is so awful. This is, that's pessimism. Cynical is this is proven to be a
yeah,
bad thing. It's proven to
yeah.
be an unpositive thing. And
Okay. So we'll
so I
change
think you're
that. We'll
cynical.
change that. I'm cynical. Next. So I'm told people say I'm hard on myself. Uh, I don't think so.
You are
I'm,
so hard. It's not that you're hard. Okay. It's not that you're hard on yourself. You don't see yourself the way other people do.
yeah.
Other people
Any,
see you as like funny and outgoing and all of these things, like all these positive things. And you're like, I'm not, that's not me. No, I'm not. Like
yeah, I don't.
you don't accept the good that you are.
No. Anywho,
She's like, moving on. I'm gonna cut her right off. Like,
we're done. The other one is okay, and this one I know to be a fact, and it's a bad habit.
that is
But
her way of saying, don't say a word.
but I think I can control it to a certain degree, and that's swearing.
Oh, you do great.
Yeah. If I'm around people that don't swear, I can control myself. But I tell you, I get into a room and everyone's dropping the F-bombs and whatever. I am a trucker from Texas like you would not even believe.
From Texas. That's so
Well, whatever.
funny.
I just said Texas because,
That's awesome.
so yeah, but I'm also told that swearing is a good coping mechanism when you're feeling stressed and whatever. It actually, when you swear, it relieves some sort of
Chemical.
dopamine or
Yeah.
whatever in you to kind of calm you down. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I heard. The other bad habit I have is coffee.
Is it a bad habit though?
Oh, it's too much is a bad habit. Too
Okay,
much
how
is not good for you.
I know how much is too much.
I could have 5 coffees a day, if not more.
Yeah, not me. I
Right?
need apparently 5 coffees a day.
So yeah, it sometimes lasts, but I'm going to say at the very least 3 to 4 coffees a day. And that's a couple in the morning, a couple in the afternoon. And then if Meg goes out for a walk or, whatever, she stops at the Tim's and brings us, I get the window treatment, right?
Yeah, I
Like she
know.
drops
It's
it off at the
awesome.
window. So it could be up to 5 times a day. So I think that's too much, my opinion. Um, the other bad habit I have is uh building anger.
Oh,
I am I'm not a confrontational person. So I let things go and go and go and go and go until I completely explode. And then I am not a nice person. I say things I shouldn't be saying. I can't take it back because I've just completely
it's
exploded.
festered.
Yeah. And that I think is a bad habit of mine, but it's also something that um I just I don't want to fight with people.
Well, it's not worth it most of the time.
Yeah, I just some anyway, so that is I think one of my biggest uh bad habits is building up anger.
I
Um
have the same thing. Like
yeah,
I will let it go and let it go and let it go. But then
yeah.
all it takes is like the stupidest little thing and I'm like,
Yeah.
because it's just built up
But see,
so long.
yeah, and it wouldn't be towards everybody and everything in the beginning. So it would be how, here's an example. Say you have someone in your life that's taken advantage of you and da 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 da, and they're treating you badly and they're that, all the things, right? And you're just letting it go and ignoring it and, blah, blah, blah. And then it just gets to the point where that person has done something and then you lose your glue.
Hmm.
Okay. You completely lose it. And then, so what happens to me then is then, and only then, I take it out on everybody around me because I'm so PO'd at that point that I can't see that it really is only between me and this other person. But
Hmm.
every other single person that comes in my line of sight, you better look out. You have no idea why I'm pissed. You have no idea what happened, but you're going to feel my wrath. And that is what I hate about, that's one thing I hate about my personality. But do you think I can change it? No,
No.
I can't change it. The other bad habit I have is health appointments. I am bad at taking care of my health. I, well, one, because the doctors here are completely ludicrous. Okay. So no, seriously, I
I
put it off
know.
and put it off and put it off because I don't want to sit in, well, one, my family doctor is still living in COVID time. You can't walk into her office without a mask still to this day. Okay. You can't get an appointment to her unless it's almost 6 weeks out. Well, by then I either could be dead or healthy by then, right?
Yes.
So that's
I like how you're one extreme or the other. I'm either
well, that's
dead
the
or I'm
thing. Dead
healthy.
or I'm okay. So that's that. The other thing I'm going to say is I have the poorest posture on the face of the earth.
No, not the poorest, but you do have bad posture. So do I. So,
I have bad posture and I wish I could and I recognize it. There's times when I think, oh my God, my neck is sore. And then I realize I'm hunched over like a freaking 90-year-old lady that has a hump on her back.
oh, and that's hereditary. And
I know.
both my grandmothers had the hunchback, both of them. So I am
Yeah.
just screwed on both sides to have a
Anyhow,
hunchback.
I it bothers me. So that is part of my bad habits.
You know, they
And the
have
last,
a thing that you can wear
yeah, I know.
that will like help leave you like that. But I wouldn't wear it for a long. I did. I put it on and wore it all day. I hurt so bad for like 2 days because I
Oh
made my
my
body be
gosh.
in an unnatural state for
Yeah.
too long.
I
Anyway,
mean, when you go and get a massage and you're down for the count for days on end because your posture must be bad
oh yeah,
or your stress level, one or the other. Anyway, last but not least is I tend to ignore hard or confrontational conversations.
mm,
And the reason for that is I I don't want to I don't want to argue with anybody because then it leads me to be swearing and the building of anger and all the things. So I tend to just not do it. I until I absolutely have to. And then it's not a good conversation,
right.
right? So that's it. There you have it, friends. Now you know the good, bad, and the ugly of Laurie Dean plans.
And I love you anyway.
Okay.
All right, my good habits. We already talked about the positive road rage. My hands and my feet. The rest of my body is like sucks, but I will have my nails done and I will have my feet done. So that is self care. That's probably the only self care that I do habitually, right? Like there's other things I'll do here. I'll do a face mask here and there, whatever. But for the most part, that's just my hands and my feet. I have started reading a lot more since I got my Kindle. Love, love,
Yes.
love my Kindle. So I've been reading more, going to church. We kind of fell off the church wagon for a bit, life and whatever,
Yeah.
but we're back. So, and that makes me very happy. We went Sunday and Kaylin went with us, and it was just, it, it felt so good to me. I felt like I was back home, and it was awesome.
That's
Creativity.
awesome.
I have to be creative in some kind of way every day. Like it just is what I do, even if it's just to make a simple little tag or
Yeah.
or even just organizing is makes me happy. Like that's also for me a creative kind of thing because
Right.
when I'm done, I'm like, oh, that was so good, whatever. Um, so I have I want to say it's a good habit that I just accept things for how they are. And if I don't like it, if I don't like how they are, I just leave it alone or I let it go by the way. But, you know, like you were talking about how you're cynical or pessimistic. I'm not like overtly positive, but I just like, well, that's just the way that it is. And I
Mhm.
just move on. I don't focus on the good or the bad of it. I'm just like, that's just the way it is. So and drives my husband crazy because he's more cynical. And I'm just like, okay,
Yeah.
babe. And he gets, all bothered and upset because of this, that, and the other, like that kind of thing. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, I hear you and I agree with you, but it is what it is. I don't know. I can't, I have enough crap that I spend all my energy on, and that's not my thing. So
Yeah.
I'm more of the acceptance kind of person. Um, this is a good habit. I don't care what anybody says. I'll fight you. Not really, but anyway, getting rid of toxic people in your life.
Oh, 100%.
And I don't care if let me put it this way. I do not speak to my mother or my father or 10 out of
Mhm.
11 siblings. If they are toxic, they got to go. I
Yeah.
can't. I did it for far too long because, oh, that's family, or oh, that's your mom, or oh, that's this. It doesn't matter who
It
it
doesn't
is.
matter.
If
No.
they are toxic, they are toxic. And genetics, how you are genetically related to them, has no bearing on their toxicity level.
Right.
So that was one of the greatest things I did for myself and my self care is be okay with letting go of toxic people. And it's not just family. I mean, I've let go of a lot of friends
Yeah.
who weren't toxic in the beginning. They
Yeah.
were, but they over time, either they became toxic over time, like they changed,
Yeah.
or it just started coming out. I don't know
Yeah.
which, and I don't have the energy to figure it out.
Yeah.
But once that toxic stuff started happening, the gaslighting and negativity or the lying or whatever it is,
Yeah. Yeah.
sorry, I can't. There's no room.
I'm the exact same way. And I've done the same thing with my family members. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I'm done. Lose my number, don't bother me anymore. And that's the end of it. I'm not I life is way too short to play
Mm-hmm.
games with people that all they want out of you is to suck you dry of every
Everything.
emotion, everything you have, and are not there for you when you need it,
Right.
right? And that's the thing. No one, some of my family members that, oh, I need your help. Oh, help me. Can you help me? Oh, Lorie. But when I need it, where are they all? I don't know what to do. I'm okay,
Yeah.
you know what? I don't have the patience for this anymore. You're done. Just stop calling me. Stop bugging me.
Okay. Do you still have their numbers in your phone though?
No.
See, I do because I want to make sure that I don't answer if they call.
Well, one family member, um, I did delete this person, and then I did get a text from her after I deleted, but I knew by the conversation and
Right.
the task that it was her. So what I did was I put an emoji on there, like one of those clown emojis,
Yes.
and then I gave it the title Biatch.
That's
So I
awesome.
know as soon as it pops up, it's like delete. I know who it is.
That's so funny. But yeah,
Yeah.
so I still have toxic numbers in my phone just so I know who it is that's
Mhm.
calling or texting.
Yeah.
That's crazy, but that's
Yeah.
how I am. Because my mother, who I haven't spoken to in so many years, randomly texted me And I really want to think that it had to be by mistake because she was like,
Pocket
"Oh,
dial.
what are you doing? What? Like, this is the first words you want to speak to me after years of not
What are you
talking?
doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?" And so there was one or two things. I was like, either
You should
she
have said, I'm in
messaging,
prison. What are you doing?
I'm burying a body.
That's right.
But either she texted me by mistake, that was my thought, or dang, someone stole her phone. It's like she's not gonna text me. So what
Uh,
do? I text my aunt, who is her sister,
yeah.
and I'm like, hey, my mother just texted me randomly, and she's like, oh, that's weird. I was like, yeah, it is. And then we let it go. But if my aunt would have been like, oh, it's probably because of XYZ, then
Yeah.
I would have at least known. But
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, so I just think it's funny. So getting rid of toxic people, I tell you. And so I forgot to put a timer up.
I know, I noticed that. So I wasn't going to mention it because I didn't want you to fret about it.
Oh, I'm not
We're
fretting.
an hour in almost. Little
Give,
less than an
yeah,
hour.
give or take.
Yeah.
Um, what other habits? I don't know. Oh, I don't know if this is a habit or if it's just a personality trait, but I can go a while without talking to people I care about, and I'm okay with it.
Hmm.
Like, I don't have to talk to my best friend every day. You and I
100%.
talk all the time, but it's my choice. Like, if we
Yeah.
couldn't or didn't, I wouldn't be bothered by it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, because here's the thing, if there's something I want to tell you, I'll message you.
Well, not only
But
that, we know what's kind of going on in each other's lives
yes,
anyway. So I know if you're off the grid, I know it's because you're at your aunt's or you're,
yes,
busy with family. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit different. But I what subject were we on there about? Oh, so yeah, the toxic. I have to say on that subject for me, not least of that subject is it is so freeing
so
when those people, I'm not even going to say family, but people in general,
people. Mm-hmm.
are not in your life anymore. You
Yep.
don't have to listen to the crap anymore. And it's like a great big gigantic weight is lifted off. Family, friends, whatever the case may be.
Yep.
You know what? You're right. It's hard to let family go. But at the end of the day, if they're not good for your mental
Anything.
health or
Mm-mm.
anything for you, what is the point?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, it's unhealthy. It is so unhealthy. And
Yeah.
I just was over it. And again, like she said, family, friends, it doesn't matter.
Hmm.
To me, it's if you're toxic, you're toxic. I do not care in what relation you are to me. Toxicity is toxicity, and you got to go.
Yeah.
Got to go. So
Is
I
that
will,
the end of your?
I don't know, maybe you can talk.
Yeah. No,
Oh,
I just said, is that the end of your
my rant. Oh, yeah, it's into
no,
my
your
list. That's
yeah.
into my list. Yeah.
Okay, so fun fact. Go.
Oh,
I knew you
dang,
forgot.
I did. Oh, fun fact.
See what
Okay.
happens?
I
Go
know.
ahead.
Oh, that's because I didn't write it down.
I
Okay.
know.
Do you have a fun fact?
I do.
You
I'm
go
gonna
because I
say.
have to think.
Okay, I have a few fun facts that all surround Canadian law.
Go.
Okay. Are you
Okay.
ready?
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
ready.
this is so stupid, some of these laws. Anyway, in Canada, did you know that it is illegal to pay with too many coins? You can't pay for stuff with too many coins. For example, the most loonies that you could spend is $25 in loonies.
Okay, please explain to everybody what a loony is.
A loonie is a dollar.
Thank you.
So here it's a dollar coin. We don't have a dollar bill, we have a coin.
And then what is a toonie?
A toonie is a $2 coin.
Mm-hmm. So they have Looney Tunes over
So,
there.
yes, we do. A lot of them. Okay. A lot. Okay.
Oh, that's too
So yeah,
funny.
it's illegal. Now, I don't know who in their right mind at any store, if you give them 25 or 30 coins, $30 in coins,
Be
they'd say,
like,
no,
nope.
sorry, that's illegal.
Yeah,
But
can't.
it's a law. Um, in Canada, it is illegal to build a snowman higher than 30 inches.
So you have like
What?
snowman
So,
police
okay,
walking
okay,
around.
no, listen. This is our government. This is what they sit around the round table and discuss. Like,
These are the
let's
important topics
let's
of the
not talk
day.
about the healthcare that's falling apart, but gosh darn it, don't you make a snowman over 30 inches, okay? We'll send
Priorities.
someone your way.
But you can't say a doctor, but we have the snowman police.
And this one is very dear and near and dear to my heart, okay? In the Toronto parks, you can't swear. It's illegal to swear in the Toronto parks.
So I guess you're not going to any parks
What the
anytime.
what? Now I'm going to go to a Toronto park and curse up a storm and just see what kind of cops come my way. Bad girl, what you gonna do? What are you looking at?
I heard what you said.
I'm singing my heart out over here and you're staring at a computer.
I was looking at a fun fact because you put me on the spot.
Okay, well, I'll give you a few more minutes and do another one, okay?
Do another one.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Did you know when you sleep, your brain gets washed with spinal fluid? What?
Okay, I thought you were going to say spiders for a second and been
Well,
like, I don't know where you're getting your information from,
my
ma'am.
my tongue was getting twisted, but my brain straightened it out. I guess it got a good washing last night. But I thought the fluid one would be good from our last
Yes,
podcast.
because you love fluid.
Yeah,
So
that's it.
does it happen every night?
That's what it says. When you sleep, your brain gets washed with spinal fluid.
What's the purpose?
Beats me. I just looked up the fun fact. Okay,
Okay,
I didn't look up the whole definition and the medical.
You didn't do
I didn't
whole,
go to WebMD and try and figure that crap out. I
no
just
thesis, just a
no.
little no, I'm gonna have to like research that later because
Well,
I
that's okay.
really
You can
want to know.
research the heck out. I haven't even had a drink, okay? And I'm slurring like a plaster.
Oh, I sound like I'm drunk. Did you hear me last night on my live? I couldn't. No, it was so bad. Words and thoughts and everything gone. They were just gone. Just
It happens.
all the time.
It does.
All the time. So, fun fact about me. Are you done with your fun facts?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Fun fact about me. I yawn all the freaking time. All the
She
time.
does.
I cannot stop yawning from the time I wake up till the time I go to bed.
There you
This
go.
is the thing. And it happens when I'm talking to people. Obviously, I am having a conversation. So yeah, I am forever yawning. So I decided to look up what causes excessive yawning. Okay. Excessive yawning is when someone yawns more often than normal. What is their definition of normal? I have yet to figure out people's definition
you
of
are
normal of
beyond
anything.
normal.
I am.
When it comes to yawning.
Sometimes up to 100 times a day. Okay, I feel like I have yawned 100 times during this podcast. Like,
well, I wouldn't say 100, but give or take, it's a good 25 times.
God,
I've counted. I have tick marks on my desk. No, I didn't.
Oh, but we should. I want to know how many times. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So, sleep deprivation, but no, because I got 9 hours of sleep last night. Medications. I'm not taking any medications that make me yawn. Stress. Okay, if stress is for everything, and that irritates me to no end.
Yeah,
right?
They label that on everything.
On everything. I'm like, no.
Like if you're a drinker, right away they go, "Are you stressed out?"
No, it makes me happy. Oh wait, we should just get onto the whole topic of fibromyalgia, but we're not. That's not today. Okay. But it could also mean a brain tumor.
Oh,
a stroke, epilepsy, or multiple sclerosis, vasovagal reaction, which can be caused by a heart attack or an aortic dissection. Pretty sure I'm not having all of that happening right now. Bleeding around the heart and liver issues. If you experience excessive yawning for no apparent reason, you should visit a doctor and rule out any abnormal condition.
Okay, so what my takeaway on this one is you're just bored silly of anybody who you're talking to. For sure.
I don't have to be talking though. I will sit here and yawn.
I know, but
even
it
if I'm
happens
doing
more
nothing.
when you're talking.
And I
Like
want to
okay,
say,
let me ask you this. When you are talking, do you take deep breaths a lot?
but that's another
like,
thing is I'm a shallow breather anyway. And
oh,
so I don't think I'm getting enough oxygen. And it's my body's way of saying, if you don't breathe, you're going to die like every
oh my
5 seconds.
gosh.
Because I don't. Like,
that's
I'm a very, very shallow breather. So I think that's more of my problem. And I've tried. Okay, that freaked me out. It's the cord to the stupid headphones that touch my leg.
not the gecko your cat brought in last night.
No, it was a lizard today.
Oh,
Poor thing. She
I
killed
know.
it really quick because it wasn't brown yet. It was still green. Anyway,
Oh,
dang it. I forgot what I was saying.
sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, I can't remember. Jeez Louise, see what happens.
Golly.
Okay, so I'm going to say another one just so that
Oh, yeah, go
we'll
ahead.
take the heat off you, okay?
Okay, thanks.
Did you know if you were murdered, there is 80% chance you know the person?
Yeah. I believe that.
I didn't know that. 80% chance you know the person if you're ever murdered.
Because most murders are crimes of passion.
Ah.
And a crime, you have to know somebody to have passion, like to feel that. Most murders are crime of passion. Good, bad, or otherwise. But yeah.
That's all I got, my friend. All I got.
So now I'm going to do in this whole research on shallow breathing, not on the podcast. I promise not to bore y'all to sleep. So everyone else is like,
whoo, I'll be yawning.
I know, right?
There you go. Is your phone going off?
Yeah, Kitty's calling. I forgot to tell him I was recording. He should know the time. Like, it's on the calendar.
Oh, yeah, because he knows our schedule like the back of his hand.
He should just know that anytime between the time he is gone and comes home, we are talking at some point.
Okay, so okay, I'll tell you something. George says to me, okay, well, my appointment's at 11. Are you coming? And I went, I have a podcast to record. He goes, what? He goes, what? Like, he was so disappointed. And I said, you'll be fine. You're just getting a needle. Like,
you're just getting the needle. That's all.
Everybody just calm down. Men act like they're so, like, anyway, I'm not even going to get on that subject because that's a whole deal.
It is a whole deal. I just want to say one thing about, well, maybe more than one. Who knows? So Kenny hates going to the doctor by himself. He wants me there to hold his hand. He's like, I never know what to say. I don't know what to do. Whatever. But then I've learned that if I don't go, then I really have no clue what the hell is going on because he doesn't ask any questions. He doesn't retain any information. Like, he didn't know that when he went to his heart doctor actually took him off of one of his heart meds. I didn't know because he didn't tell me. So yeah. I'm calling the pharmacy trying to figure out why these medications not refilled. And they're like, well, the doctor denied it. What the hell? So I have to call the doctor's office. Oh, we took him off of that.
Yeah.
After his, stress test or whatever, he doesn't need it anymore.
Well, see, Megan went with George the first appointment to talk.
Mm-hmm.
So that was okay. But this was just to get his cortisone shot. He didn't need me. Okay. So before everyone sits back there and judges me and says, oh, Lorie doesn't even go with her husband. No, it was only to get a needle.
No one's judging you. And if they're judging you, they need to stop. Oh, I will have some words.
Okay.
We'll have some words with the people judging my friend. Judge not, lest ye be judged. Yes, I'm quoting the Bible. Ooh. I know. I even use the King James Version with lest.
Oh. On that note.
On that note. Oh, bye.
Yeah.
I really think we're done. Stephanie starts quoting the Bible.
Huh?
We got to go.
Yeah, it's time. Let's end this sucker
Okay.
before we all.
I keep trying to end it. You're still talking.
Okay, goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
We love you.
Yes, we do.